Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.
Hello and welcome. This is the Christmas edition of Enterprise Morning today, Monday, the 25th day of December 2023. I am Henry EBBK. Today we'll be going to what the newspapers have for us this morning before digging deep into the conversation for today. But meanwhile, please do well to follow, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Enterprise TV 7. And remember to press the notification bell so you get notified whenever we drop our content. So we'll be jumping into what we have for the dailies today. But of course, before doing that, I have in the studios to make sense of our stories today, Mr. Cyril Abaku. He is a broadcaster and a public affairs analyst. Mr. Cyril, you're welcome to Enterprise Morning today, Christmas Day. Happy holidays to you, my brother.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome to the studios today. All right. So, start up. Let's move to what the newspapers have for us today. And starting up, we have the Guardian newspaper, and the big story there says, unusual Yuletide as cash crunch on affordable prices, more celebrations today, and that made a big story. And on the down sleep of the newspaper, we have Tinubu seeks support, promises more intervention to ease hardship in the country. And we have still on the Guardian newspaper, on the middle sleep of the newspaper, we have save people from trouble, suffering. Badejo admonishes political leaders. Now let us talk about what made the big story today on the Guardian newspaper, Mr. Cyril, and that's on the unusual Yuletide as crash crunch on affordable prices, more celebration today. Now, what do you have to say about this? I think this is the first time in a very long time in Nigeria where Nigerians are not really excited. In fact, most Nigerians are not even aware that today ought to be Christmas. Yeah, today is just like every other day, and
maybe also because spurred on by the fact that it's a Monday, you know.
No, even if it's not on Monday, of course, we have had, 25th, appear in several days of the week, but there's this aura that goes with Christmas. There's this thing that's
just not there.
Yeah, that's not just there. What is the missing link?
Apart from the coolness in the Harmattan weather.
Harmattan weather has always been there. Come on, let's not blame weather for issues, that humans have caused.
Somehow the weather is just cool. Somehow.
Okay.
But the real thing is, one, the cash is scarce.
Yes.
And even when you find it, it's not able to do what it should have done. Normally money works magic.
Yes.
Doesn't it? You check in for the season, rice, oil, all the things you want to buy. If the money was there, you just went on and took them, and you made the moment into what it is normally. That is for those who particularly look forward to rice and chicken as their own definition of a good Christmas. But now it's a lot different because we don't have as much as we used to have. I personally can't imagine having a Christmas of this kind that was worse than this. I don't think it has been this bad.
That is what I'm saying. It's a very long time. We've not had such
people looking away from rice.
Yeah.
Looking away from the things that normally would have gotten together. Even the Bible says, on earth, peace and goodwill. So you can't goodwill. You share. You call people into your home. You celebrate together. You feast, and then you remember that Christ was born at this time, and you celebrate that. But all of that is just sort of absent. People are not able to go to the market boldly. You talk of, someone was saying broiler, someone said, no, chicken. You go to the market to buy a fowl, and you're being told that this is around 20,000 naira.
20,000, you're asking, wow.
Normally, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, you know, you get
Should
something
get you one.
good and healthy, but now you're told 15 to 20,000 naira. How will anybody be able to afford? Then rice, how much is a bag of rice? So the cash is scarce, first of all. I mean, government chose, for me, the blame can be on POS and banks. It is the CBN that must be blamed. The CBN chose of all times now to implement a cash withdrawal policy or a mobile policy.
Do you think there's something they are trying to hide from us, or do you think it's something?
No, but of course, I couldn't not think so. I personally believe that they are not telling us the whole story.
So what do you think? What do you think it's hidden? It's
don't
hidden
know.
in there.
Maybe later this morning you're going to be talking about what Mr. Buharis said, the Sokoto State Governor. But in the interview I read, I mean the interview that he did, and he said that the CBN printed trillions of naira.
Okay.
As it were, maybe arbitrarily, maybe against the law, maybe against the president, whatever. But they printed trillions. So
during Buhari's administration,
yes, it would now appear, okay, I'm guessing, that the government does not even know how much money is in circulation.
Okay.
So they're trying to be able to tell how much do they have. And because, of course, too much money in circulation is also not a very healthy sign for any economy. Okay? So they want to know how much exactly is in circulation. But I'm thinking Christmas was the best time for them to try this out, so that if people didn't want to take money to the banks, no matter what, some people would be forced to spend money because, of course, it's Christmas. So some people will be forced to spend and be forced to give anything other than that. This attempt at scapegoating POS operators and bank people just doesn't cut it for me. But again, Henry, there are a lot of questions that follow this matter. Why will the poor masses become the victims all the time?
All the time.
Why must they become the victims all the time? The big politicians who are pushing money, look at during the elections, they said this year, right? They said the cost of persons with billions of naira, with thousands of dollars, moving from location to location to buy votes. Excuse me. After the election ended, I didn't hear that the police, DSS, EFCC, NFIU, any of these people having undertaken investigations. We are now trying to look for places where money might have been stashed to get them. But did you hear anything like that? No. Why are you making scapegoats of common Nigerians who are legitimately working to earn a living but cannot spend to, you know? So if, let's even assume that the cash crunch was attempting to deal with the challenge of, what's it called? Money circulation. How about inflation?
Because the truth of the matter is, holding on cash, all right, to themselves, indirectly is equally causing inflation. Because you need to pay more to get the money you want, which already is adding to the inflation in the country.
So the inflation will not pay for it. That's why I say it's a lame duck approach. The CBN is all to blame. I should not push it to any other person. And the governor of the CBN, the way he's going, he's doing the part of Emefiele. He must be held accountable.
Exactly.
He must be held accountable for whatever is going wrong with the naira, with the economy. Nigerians are known to be people who love to enjoy
it, celebrate, spend, and so on.
In a country where religious lines are not so very sharply cut, especially in the south, where Muslims can celebrate with Christians doing Christmas.
Exactly.
I wonder why you know, at the time when our country needs healing, especially the way the elections went, when people should want to see face to face and eye to eye to enjoy themselves together, it's time that you chose to implement an inauspicious policy of cash withdrawal, and then you're blaming POS operators and banks. I went to a bank, Henry, the other day, and the lady said there's no money. Then I wanted to be said, okay, hold on, wait, somebody just brought money, maybe I'll take down and give to you. That's the kind of economy we are running today. So wait, somebody just brought money, let me now give them money. And I know withdrawing what I didn't need to withdraw because I was afraid of uncertainty. Am I a politician? Am I in any way responsible for the monies that were stashed away? Did I print trillions? Am I Emefiele? This government ought to do better to know where to put it, know how to drive its policies, and not to make common citizens and, you know, innocent Nigerians become the victims of their own mismanagement. It will not be nice.
All right, so let's go for a quick break, and when we come back, it's still Enterprise Morning. Please don't go anywhere.
Enterprise TV, your one-stop shop for news, programs, human angle stories, the economy, sports, and much more. We go the extra mile to bring incredible details to you. So hop on the train now. Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.
All right, you're welcome back. If you just joined us, it's still Enterprise Morning Christmas edition. I'm Henry Igwebiken. I still have with me Mr. Cyril Abaku. Now let's move to the next daily for today, and this is coming from the Daily Trust newspaper. And the big story there says Emefiele sues Investigator, denies opening of 593 foreign accounts. And on the rider, it has report indicting me satanic defamatory. Ex-CBN governor says Buhari approved the Naira redesign, demands thorough, transparent investigation. And on the top of the top sleeve of the newspaper, that's the Daily Trust, we have TGI denies link to Emefiele as Titan defends acquisition of a Union Bank. It equally has crack at NGF Secretariat over alleged fraud. Spokesperson demands probe. 16 killed in fresh Plateau State attack. And on the downsleep of the newspaper, we have Christmas. Expect prosperity soon. Tinubu tells Nigerians. All right, Mr. Cyril, let's start with, in continuation from the last discussion, our President Bola Tinubu is telling us expect prosperity soon. Should a president be giving us such kind of hope instead of getting down and get things working?
No, I mean, it's all part of it. It's
part of what?
No, it's part of getting things done and working. If he says expect, he has to raise your hope, has to make you believe, because in the end, you are going to be part of the process of getting that hope also on the table. But the question is, where we are today, how did they even come by it? The president cannot exculpate himself. This government cannot exculpate itself from. He was one who announced and said subsidy was in.
Good, yeah.
He was one that floated, the Naira.
Yeah.
So he was the one that approved that a yacht be bought for the presidency. He was one that approved that 1,411 delegates attend the COP28 conference in Dubai. So he's been the one who has been.
And also the 15 billion for the renovation of his VV's home.
It therefore stands to reason that all of the hardship and distress Nigerians are going through today on account of government policy came upon Nigerians because of what the government, what Mr. President chose to do or not to do.
Is he aware?
So
is he aware of the hardship?
Why wouldn't he be aware? I mean, he couldn't not be aware and then talking about prosperity coming soon. It's because he knows that right now his policies have pushed a lot into poverty. So he knows it. Now the question now would be, if we're in a man-made situation, how can we now come into aim? That is, if we're in man-made hardship and man-made difficulty, man-made distress, how can we now come into? It means that the opposite of that will also have a man-made.
Okay.
So this is like government taking responsibility for the fact that it is in their power to take us from where we are to where we aspire to be. So the president shouldn't just be saying it. He must now match his words with concrete action. The question is, can that happen? I think that's why we can all have a debate. But the fact is, it's good the president has admitted that where we are came upon us because we brought ourselves to that point by choice. So can we move out of this place? It's true. Of course we can. What is he doing to take us out of there? Again, I go back to Mr. Bafarawa's interview where he had said that it was what's it called? It was President Buhari who came and stole the country blind.
Okay.
All right. So, Indians didn't steal the money. It was human beings who yielded themselves to theft and stole all the money. Okay. And he's saying the president must prove his predecessor of being President Buhari. Only 2 days ago, the EFCC indicted former Minister of Humanitarian Affairs to have taken up to 37-point-something billion naira. So they say they were feeding school children during COVID. So the children who stayed at home are being fed in their classrooms. I mean, who even believes that? And you spent 37 billion when all the food you needed to feed the children we are grown in Nigeria. Farmers are, so the whole thing raises a lot of questions. And that's why we must be you see, when the president says this, we need to know that he is actually speaking for Nigerians, but potentially speaking against himself, because if in the end prosperity didn't come, we know whom to hold accountable. He can't excuse himself from it.
Now, if I might ask, I know this is a bit abstract, but I think it still connects to the question. Let's take some minutes to look into the mind of dollar billionaire. According to Google, some publications would say our president is worth $4 billion. Other publications would say he's worth up to $30 billion. Now, can we, for some minutes, take a perusal and ask ourselves, what do you think is going on in the mind of a dollar billionaire president like Tinubu right about now?
He to be a dollar billionaire. Donald Trump was a dollar billionaire.
But we could see what Donald Trump did to America. He was able to, yes, he was able to implement, policies that were impactful to the economy. Because it's very important we juxtapose these things. We're living in a global world.
Bola is president of Nigeria. You can't change it. There's nothing you can do about that. Okay? So we must learn to live with it. This is president.
Okay.
What he chooses to do.
Yeah.
What he does not choose to do. And everything in between. That's what we have as president. So there's not much. His wife is a Christian. I believe they will be sharing chicken rice and
right about now. Why lots of Nigerians don't have light and might not even eat chicken because chicken is 3,600.
No, their own was not budgeted for his own is in the budget. So.
Okay. Well, so let's talk about this Emefiele's issue. Emefiele's investigator denies opening 593 foreign accounts. Now, how factual do you think it is? Because there are conflicting issues.
I personally don't fault the report. I don't think that the report was playing to the gallery. I don't think so. Yes, this is a serious that we are investigating the former governor of our CBN. That's not a light matter. It's like investigating the former head of the Federal Reserve in America or the Exchequer in the UK. A central bank governor is a very, very senior, very high-profile government official. So if we are having to hire a private investigator to investigate former CBN governor, that's not a light matter at all. And the person coming to say that this man had opened more than 500 bank accounts and that he has stashed away as much as 543 million pounds. That's huge. That's ridiculously much. Too big is not for anybody to overlook.
But if Emefiele is coming out to say all our lies, so how do you?
No, it shouldn't be Emefiele versus Jim Obaze.
Okay.
It must be that the federal government will now charge Emefiele afresh.
Okay.
So in light of fresh evidence, we have X, Y, Z against him. I personally, the way the government went about the Emefiele case just showed that they were not really serious about prosecuting the man. They're just there for. In spite
of having spent in the third for close to a month.
It was just for
in Kuje prison.
It was just for the show of it. You don't arrest. It's the normal thing with some. You arrest somebody, then you start looking for evidence. All his friends and accomplices will run away and bury all the evidence they were looking for. What do they now have against him? This one that the man is saying, the Emefiele sign all the signatures for all the bank accounts. Let them go to court and see it out. But I just feel that they could have handled this matter better. The DSS picked him up and kept him in detention. No trial until the man got another of court saying he must be tried. We don't. It just shows that government may not even be interested in prosecuting Emefiele per se. They just want to prove a point to him that he was the one that nearly truncated President Tinubu's ascendancy to become president of Nigeria, because the cash crunch policy introduced almost cost the president the presidency. So these are some background facts that Nigerians can't just throw away. All right, if you want to prosecute the man, arrest him. By now, the matter should have. You even saw the point where the DSS were fighting with the correctional services. Almost, come on. Should even be in DSS? Shouldn't he have been in the correctional facility? When they put him in custody, was it DSS that should have taken him into custody? And what did the president do about it? So these are issues that, for me, like I always say, I have no interest in the fight. But what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong, and the law must take its course. That's where I stand. So now they are pushing it to the public and saying he opened 500 something bank accounts. Where is the other component of convicting him for that one? Or you won't convict him. You just want to tell Nigerians that he did the hush puppy is behind bars. Hush puppy.
Yeah.
Where is he? He's behind bars because it's America. Nigeria will never learn a lesson from those kind of things. We play to the gallery. If such people was arrested in Nigeria, I can tell them to try in Nigeria. By now, they can't even try him. Because if you hear injunction upon injunction, technicality upon technicality, they will try him. He will not go to court. But now, Emefiele, you see the Emefiele case. They can't even look.
So what you're saying is every effort as put in by Jim Obaze could possibly be a waste of time?
Will come to waste, of course. This is on Saturday that we started hearing, no, Friday since we started hearing Emefiele opened bank. Have you had any headline change to say federal government is going to sue him by after Christmas or by Wednesday or by Thursday? Did we hear anything like that? And I should join the hall that continue to say Emefiele stole. So what did he steal, and if he stole, what's the remedy for the theft? How did somebody even take for the 3 million pounds? That's trillions. When we heard, I don't doubt it because I know that international theft and all of these things don't always come. They take this form, okay? But illicit financing is what makes Boko Haram and all these things to thrive. How did one man take this kind of money out of our system and nobody detected it? Nobody knew.
But he is
He is not.
He is the CC.
How about
our financial sector?
How about those who are supposed to be guardians of internal control mechanisms?
Well, if everyone works under him, then why do you think it will be easy for him?
In the name of the CBN. You know what I'm saying? It's a fraud. Is that not so? So if the CBN couldn't be committing fraud, who knows who they... Now we need to go and check. Those companies that own that money, who are the board of directors?
Okay.
Who are the... who is representing who? Who is the... So that way we may know who and who might have been colluded with him to siphon all those monies. But until we do that, Emefiele shouldn't be made to look like a fall guy. We must get to the root of the matter. Very important.
Okay, fine. So let's move finally to the last daily we have today, and that's coming from the Punch newspaper. And the big story there says 187 billion naira fraud. EFCC arrests humanitarian ministry contractor, probe for Buhari ministers. And on the top slip of the newspaper, we have the story we had in the last newspaper. Emefiele rejects investigators' report, faces fresh allegation. And we have still on the top slip of the newspaper, we have I will assess Tinubu's government after 1 year, Professor Wole Soyinka. Now let's talk about Professor Wole Soyinka.
Yeah.
Yes, he is saying he would assess Tinubu's government after 1 year, respectfully. Do you think it is time Professor Wole Soyinka should maybe visit the salon?
No. He, first of all, is a Nigerian like any of us.
Okay.
And has a right
to
his opinion.
Okay.
His movement. It is no doubt that the president and Mr. Soyinka, Professor Soyinka, are friends in a way, or allies.
Okay.
Or men who shared the trenches together back in the Nadeko years. So,
but we've always known Professor Wole Soyinka as someone who stands for what is right, who is anti what is wrong, and speaks the truth when the truth needs to be told. So why are we having him? Why are we having him in one corner of the ring at this time, especially at a time when Nigerians expected more from him?
What ring are you talking about? Is the president fighting anybody right now?
No, I am talking about the economic ring, the political ring of everyone knowing first off how he, ascended into power, and the economic issue that we have.
No, so those are very
ravaging Nigeria.
Yeah, but those are very subjective issues. If there's anything I'm going to say, it is the fact that Mr. Soyinka has his rights and can visit whosoever he wants to visit and pray for anybody he wants to pray for. It's 100% his right to do so, or so to do. So if he chose to visit an old ally in the president, so be it. He's entitled to that opinion and to what he said there and to what he wants to do. So I'll leave that to him, that it's entirely up to him.
Okay. Now let's talk about this issue of 187 billion naira fraud. EFCC arrest humanitarian ministry contractor. I know we had chipped a little bit into it, but let's discuss it wholesomely and now. What do you think, or what would be your best advice to President Bola Tinubu?
I just hope that they mean well to go the whole way, because eventually, if they want to go follow this story through, at some point they may have to want to bring in the former president, because he must do something about what went wrong. He is the chief employer of all the cabinet members. I even wonder why the only person they were arrested now is the contractor, not even the minister herself, because sooner than later she should be brought in for questioning. But the level of corruption that took place under the Buhari administration is unthinkable. In fact, Mr. Bafrawa said that it is the worst, it is the most corrupt government in our country after, I want to think Abacha.
Okay.
But he did definitely say that the Buhari government was more corrupt than Jonathan government. Where we are today, we're in a very bad place, because our country is terribly, is in dire straits, and something must be done early to save our face and save the nation. But if it's not done, then I fear that we may be on the cusp of losing out for a very, very long time. It's not very often that you're able to gather some of the world's finest and best brains into one place and to have them pursue a project. Under President Tinubu, President Buhari, the idea was mooted that school feeding should be
as part of
the program. Yeah. Whether it was interventionist or substantively welfarist is another matter for another day. But the fact that even President Tinubu is now falling back to the same program, school feeding, all right, shows that they couldn't have done it without probing, without checking out what might have gone wrong with it in the past administration. I said that on Saturday. But if all that they now do is to find out that there was corruption and they're arresting a contractor, it doesn't look to me like they are serious about what they're doing. Get the minister to come in for questioning. That's what you do.
But what if the minister says, I have given the contract to people who are required, and if they have failed in exercising what they are supposed to do,
and you have proved that amount of money be spent on school feeding, no internal control procedures. You were feeding school children during COVID, when everybody was at home as minister. I think they should not have their day in court, okay? And so if they've done a job thoroughly, I'm sure they'll bring her in for questioning, and to know whether she's guilty or not, and to know whether they can advance a case against her or not. It's important that people have examples to learn from, either to know what they did right or wrong. So if the courts are able to adjudicate on the matter and say there was corruption, or so that way we can recoup the monies and send people to jail, so that others coming behind them will know that you can't just stop the government work or misbehave in government and go scot-free, because this one could go scot-free. I wonder why the EFCC chose to arrest the contractor, not.
Well, just like Mr. Stewart would say, we leave everything to the court, and hope that they do the needful to ensure that such big issues wouldn't become what it is. When we return, Tinubu must probe Buhari's administration. That's the advice from former Sokoto State Governor Tahiru Bafarawa. Please don't go anywhere. It's still Enterprise Morning.